Sasage yo. Sasage yo. Sento na sasage yo. Deskripsi virus. Deskripsinya virus. Virus. Gak ada suara lu virus. Cek. Virus. Delete dulu lah X6 nya bang. Ini punya orang. So. Mana sih virus ini? Bentar aku ngambil cas kecil cok.
Apakah dipataruh ikan janji? Halo, mana virus? Sentang, sentang. Jelas lah, welcome. Cek, cek. Virus.
Ah, hilang, Cok. Pencet kan? Aduh. Cak, Cak. Live gua. Gak kepencet tadi mic-nya. Gak bisa harus on itunya. Iya. Gua kira itu, Cak. Udah kesimpen sendiri. Lang yang Oikyo Masa itu. Yuka, tolong Asba. Asba. Ya, 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 besok begitu. WR, WR. Ap- udah. HP gua dipinjam sama bocil. Iya.
Ini biarlah tuku.
Duh, capek gua, Cok, lari. Ya kan? Tadi lupa itu. Udah. Deskripsinya udah gua masukin, kok. Astaga, katanya main WR, Cok. Ah, tae.
being quiet. So we're receiving a lot of damage from that Molly as
But it's actually Lamborghini going to start towards bottom from the area of Milta all the way up to shooting range. So a lot of these areas can be taken by the team. Now, Vampire Esports, they normally drop either in Zarki or Primos. But looking at the start of this flight path, very likely Vampire Esports will go to Zarki. And so far, no other team would challenge them for Zarki. If it's in Primos, then they might be challenged, like how we saw yesterday. But if it's Zarki, it should be all right for Vampire.
I mean, for sure, I can see the same patterns here coming from the teams. I mean, FaZe headed towards the military base. I do wonder though if Team Secret will head onto Novo, but we are already hearing gunshots, and this is going to be
H to the E-R-O, doing it for real.
Tribe Aeromacey.
Actions I roll a day.
Actually just went for a vehicle, so it's a good resource to have. As for the other players of Champions Esports, they're running out there in the open, but it's a good thing that some of the other members does actually have a weapon to defend themselves. But let's see who's gonna make the first mistake here. We can see that Kino did not even hesitate at all. He just went for a massive spray with a micro Uzi. So you just know that it's hard to use this gun by mid range.
Yeah, it's not the best weapon with this sort of range, like what you said. But it's better than the shotgun, so that's why he chose this weapon instead. Baoja's on the other side with the QBC though, which is a decent weapon. A second attempt here by Kino. And looks like Trapper Missy, they're interested to try to crash in. They are getting closer and closer towards Kino.
Oh
They
no.
managed to get one. Rick on the ground. Rick will be finished off by Kino. And now they have to deal with the other vehicle coming in.
Ooh! I mean, it's a good thing that, they really tried to come after Rig, but Kino completely missed his target there. But it was a good molly throw coming from Kino to keep his enemies at bay here. But
Oh.
unfortunately, he gets tagged with a shotgun. But here comes the backup. But GK, on the other hand, is going for the run and gun as well.
Oh, and GK gets one too. All right. He saw a free point. He wanted to be part of it. Champions Esports, Baoja and Kino both knocked down. Now it's down to Urkas and Atomic to try to win this fight. Trapper Mercy still not going out yet. And Trix now rushing into the building. Okay, at the top. Looks like XZY is being picked up. Should be able to pick up his teammate in time. They should be able to reset. That's a 4 against Tribe.
Oh man, coming off the kill feed though, it's Horror Esports in big trouble. It seems to me like they've been losing some of their members, but of course we're gonna check out what's gonna happen, with Champions Esports at the moment as they still go up against a Tribe Era Macy. Kino continues to do a massive spray with his micro Uzi. Cast just came in from the inside out and went for a spray, was able to get the job done. Confirmation coming through. 3 players already out for the side of Tribe Era Macy. So this is not looking too good, obviously, but Cast looking to seal the deal.
And now it's down to the final player for Trapper Messi
Oh!
and Urkas. Make good work of him. Trapper Messi eliminated, the first team to go out without a single point.
Man, that was a tasty back and forth trade. Unfortunately, Tribe Aeromacey was the one on the losing stick there. Lamborghini coming off the kill feed though, going up against M9. He is currently knocked down to the ground. Now we are watching Aura Esports. Okay, so that's a confirmation Supreme already out of the game here. We got No Fear also facing the floor. Sky cooking up a nade or maybe a smoke, but unfortunately he turned his back and he gets tagged. So that was so unfortunate, but Talent Esports winning the fight and sending Hora back home with no points whatsoever.
And Talon Esports for this round becomes the kings of Yasnaya, taking out Hora Esports a little bit faster than before this time for them. If not, it's normally like, oh, it's a Mexican standoff, even though the circle is not there, yet it's a standoff for the two teams. But this time, it's way faster. Maybe because Talon, they're on the roll, they have the momentum, they're at number 1 right now, they're confident of taking out Hora Esports, and Hora Esports went out without a single point. But is it the end of Hora Esports? Not yet. As long as they still maintain on page number 1 with the remaining games, they can still catch up.
Yeah, they're okay. They're safe. And speaking of safe, Lamborghini had already been picked up by his teammates, so he's safe and sound. Okay, was able to heal up as well. I do wonder though if they're gonna continue the fight up against M9. So maybe not. Maybe they're not really prepared for it just yet. Maybe Sem9 was able to take hold of the compound and not the saver, but I can see on the screen here both of the teams stepped back, from that altercation, and the saver, of course, lives to fight another day here. But perhaps on the screen, they are traveling. They're headed towards the safe zone, so maybe they are planning to stand guard and maybe do a little gatekeeping up against Sem9. I mean, that is one of the possibilities on how this thing can go down.
Yeah, with BTR's position at the shooting range area, they can gatekeep all these teams that wants to pass by the bridge area. Of course, teams can still zoom past by. That's still all right. But BTR will have first-hand information on where they go, or maybe they can take those long-range shots and possibly knock one down and get a point. So that's always a good position to be at with this kind of circle. Shooting range high ground, the place that you always want to be.
Mm-hmm. High ground advantage is a must. 14 teams remaining, and again, first two teams to be taken out would be Hora and Tribe Aramasi. And they also scored no points just yet, but got Core getting angry with that spray, but obviously his bullets did not connect. Voindunky, well, that is an information that there is a team coming from that direction, probably camping, holding onto a compound here. I don't really see the rest of Voindunky for now, so I mean, this could be an opportunity for Team Secret, but since we are just at stage 1, I think they're gonna avoid conflicts for now.
Is this Hans for you with the teammate? Okay, yeah, it's with Gen 4, so it's fine. All right. RRQ, welcome into the circle. They parked themselves somewhere on the left side of Severny. So they know that based on their timing, they're probably a little bit late to commit directly into Severny or even the high grounds or shooting range. So instead, they take other spots. Well, nothing wrong to send Nepeko out just to scout and gather information, and also to plan out like their potential pit stop on stage number 2, because that will happen in about 1 minute and 10 seconds. We also welcome Alter Ego. They come in from the right side in, and last we checked, there were no other gatekeepers. So smart on how these teams actually manage the potential of the bridge wing gate cap. So they don't want to think
Mhm.
about that. Instead, they use like the left and the right side in the circle.
Well, you really have to consider everything that can happen, which is, of course, adds more pressure into the gameplay here. I mean, you don't even know like the decision they're gonna make for now is gonna be the right choice, right? So you need to be able to show just how much you can adapt to everything, how you can be proactive in every situation you find yourselves in the game. And again, those are just some of the skills that you need to master in order for you to become a very effective professional player in PUBG. It's not as easy as we see it on screen here, ladies and gents. We have to consider a lot of random elements coming into play here.
Yeah, we have to anticipate, we have to prepare for the randomness, because you also won't know where the circle will go later on. Speaking of the circle, we'll check that out right now. A lot of the teams already at the northern side of the map, and likely the circle will go there. And true enough, slightly towards the right side, but that's okay. That's where majority of the teams are at right now. So for the teams around Warsaw, like the Xavier, Cellcom DJ Alliance, DRS, time for them to get in.
And just look at that. Sem9 and FaZe tanking the blue already. Are they gonna fight before they head on towards the safe zone? Or are they just gonna prioritize and not fight for now? Because they need to decide, they really need to make a decision here. Otherwise, they're gonna be greeting a lot of teams that will be staying right at the edge of the circle coming from the south part area. So let's see what's going to happen. Team Secret right now, they are seeing the boys of Vikings passing through at the hilltop. Frankie open fired. So yeah, this is already a challenge coming from Team Secret.
And so they just want to show away their opponents. But Cellcom DJ Alliance took this challenge against the Xavier. Adi Luke knocked down by Nate. Fight might continue on. But the other members of Cellcom DJ Alliance looks like they're no longer interested. That's because another team came by in the name of BTR.
Oh no, okay, take a shot. Bye bye Whiteout that is looking to come and play as well. Oh, if Turca hit, same thing goes for Levi's as he is already facing the floor here. But BTR is the one getting some points. Okay, Vox doing a massive spray as well up against the Savior. So I feel like this is going to continue on until they pulverize the remaining players of the Savior.
Oh, nice tracking there by Dewey to knock down Traxi. And FaceTime will surely pick up the point. While the elimination feed, D Xavier and BTR still continue to fight with each other. D Xavier gets Federales. And I wonder how many players are left. Let's check on the summary. Okay, BTR still have 3 active players. D Xavier, 1 player knocked down, should be able to be recovered. And at least everyone is in the circle. So not too much in a rush. As long as they're able to get away from the line of sight, they will be fine.
You know what? We have another name for BTR, and it's Hans Sibajj. I don't know what's with the letters here, Certified. Maybe you can give me an idea. But anyway, we got Vox on screen here. They do have a visual to where BTR is currently staying at, but Kasim don't exactly know what is happening here. Maybe he is setting up his Google Maps, perhaps. We don't exactly know, but yeah, he is pretty chill inside the car. But as for Olio, he is inside the shack here, just looking at the situation because there are teams fighting down below.
Oh, okay. That should be Hans Jill.
Oh,
So Hans Jill used to come from the academy team of BTR before this. And he had a few runouts in the professional scene before. So, but he haven't like broke into the first team as a mainstay yet. But he's still like a sub player for the team. So I guess they're giving him a run out this round.
and this is actually a very good experience. It's a great way, of course, to train potential pro players, of course, joining as like one of the biggest organizations that we have in competitive scene. Of course, that's from Indonesia. But here comes Boy Donkey. Oh man, just trying to punish RRQ just for passing by. But the big question is if RRQ is gonna be taking the bait, are they gonna be challenging up the voice of Voin Donkey, or are they gonna let this pass?
Looks like they don't want to re-challenge Void Donkey. So Void Donkey is going to hold this area, the warehouse, and that house for now. While other teams try to secure their spot within the circle. Now we are stage 3. And on the left side, there seems to be 2 different teams here. Okay, the Xavier, Sem9, round 2, let's go.
Lamborghini again. This is the second time that he'd been dropped. But now Panagen on screen here. He does have a visual. Where Sem9 actually went, but let's see if it's gonna be a green light, for the rest of the team here to go for a push. But Kasim now had been taken down, and confirmation, Southcom DG Alliance already out of the game. Doesn't exactly know what happened, but I feel like the fight was with DRS.
Yeah, the final blow came from DRS. So DRS, they will pick up their second point in this round. Southcom DG Alliance, same thing with Hora Esports. As long as they can still maintain themselves on page number 1, catching up can still be a possibility for a team like Southcom DG Alliance. But for DRS, to pick up those 2 points, that's crucial for them, since they do need the points to be in contention.
Okay, here we go. Tony K also does have a visual up against a 9. And this is, of course, just showing how you can be very effective in terms of like how you can extract intel, because you should be able to see that as a factor on how you can approach any situation in the battlefield. You know how to move forward. But anyway, we can see Killer YT spotted Levi's of the Savior, goes now for the tap and fire, but bullets not connecting.
And for Champions Esports, Atomic here has the high ground against Alter Ego. They're the ones on the outside of the circle. Alter Ego can gatekeep them from coming in. And Atomic's trying to locate this next target. But at the same time, the zone just right behind him. At some point, he has to go down. Urkas is already at the lower ground. As for Alter Ego, they also... And the next circle move could force them to move. And here we go. Archive all the way down south.
Ooh, and this is going to be exciting. We don't really have that much compound. Don't even have enough cover here. So, yeah, Void Donkey, if they pushes in, they could potentially clash with RQ. We've got Vikings Alter Ego Ares, and we've got a couple of teams also flocking around in the middle here. Rosemary knocked down by Superman of Vikings, but you know what? Levi's also having an exchange up against Varian of 7-9. Confirmation coming through as well. The fire had already been taken out of the equation. Pathogen defends himself with an S12K up against 7-9, but lost the fight.
And oh wait, some help came
Oh,
from afar. All right. So that came from somebody from BTR. But 7-9 also eliminated. Okay. Waiting for the elimination feed to show. It's now running crazy. And that involves Vikings as well. Now in the fight of their own. And they're still on the outside of the circle. Here is RRQ stopping them. And RRQ have their own objective of wanting to come in. And they are willing to bulldoze the Vikings.
man, the kill feed, moments ago, it's not stopping at all. We got RQ Lepar down on the ground, but it was the Blue Zone that actually took his life. Well, not really out just yet, but he is bleeding out there in the open. But since, RQ is dealing with business here, I do wonder if they're going to have time to pick up their teammate. But as for Vikings, they already have one casualty here, and they're going up against Champions Esports. Coming off of the kill feed, though, it's Break from Vikings, who is out there down on the floor.
Yeah, he needs help though. Hey, Wunti is going to him. Okay, the pickup should happen. But look at the elimination feed. Now Void Donkey and RRQ in a fight together. And so
Ooh.
far, we are still going to put focus on to Balja from Champions Esports. But now we shift over to Void Donkey. Here we have Razak, high ground, Nepeko in front of him. He's tracking Nepeko. The other member of RRQ is in front, and that's going to be Gen Force. Now Vexi goes up, fires on Gen Force, and Gen Force is prone just in time.
Yep. So just to give you guys an idea, okay, the fight is actually happening from outside of the zone. The only player from Void Donkey who is inside is Potato. So Void Donkey is actually pushing the remaining players of RQ to head on towards where Potato is, and they could actually go for a pincher. But you know what? It's gonna be Vampire Esports first. Settling the conflict over here. Tony K flashing his 1-point elimination. We've got Vampire Esports trying to settle down in a compound, but it is already not part of the zone, so there's need for them to go for the reposition.
But everyone up here is repositioning themselves to collect those elimination points as Kino spots Gen Force. Nepeko still behind him, and Gen Force, he left his vehicle, Newsy. He took a bit of damage, but he's going towards his teammate. He wants some level of safety. Now Balja dancing around with Gen Force, not able to get shots just yet, and finally he will. Knocked out Gen Force, and the point will go to Champions Esports. RRQ out.
Man, an unfortunate event for RQ. Stage 4, and we're down to 9 teams remaining here, ladies and gents. You can see those teams coming from the northern side. Vikings staying at the rim of the circle here. Same thing goes for Champions Esports. But you know what? Vampires taking this opportunity to assume a lot of points because everyone that they need to take down is just right up in front of them and applying a lot of pressure since they will be the ones coming from the outskirts.
Oh man, this circle still favors talent though. Looking good so far this round. But for Champions Esports, now they're looking at Vampire Esports. With Mela currently down on the ground. Okay, they're trying to find the next target. On the other side, they see one player. Vampire Esports sees the rotation of Champions Esports as well. But Boychill gets Kino while he was rotating to the other side.
Oh man, Champions, they're running out of space here. But let's see what's going to happen. BTR versus what's that, Champions Esports as well. We got FaZe as well, so there's a lot of back and forth trade at the moment. Killfit is lighted up. FaZe, a couple of their players already down. Tony K on screen. Oh man, FaZe getting burned alive.
And BTR, they got FaZe Clan. With that, they're dominating. We have at least 5 elimination points right now. Tony K was a close one. He was almost knocked down. There was a lot of damage onto him. DRS, 3 players by the rim of this circle. With BTR in front of them. And the northern side is still Vampire Esports. So many fights happening in many different corners of the circle.
Yeah, there's a need for vampires to settle the score up against champions just because of the fact that they are the ones, or like they are the team inside the zone, and they don't want to deal with any team that will backstab them later on. So, yeah, before they go up against Talent Esports, who, by the way, already took over a compound here. So, like, if they are going to be continued being favored by the zone, big chance that they can score the chicken dinner just by their position.
And top 5 right now. Potato lands a nade on the killer YT. And DRS now one active player. That's going to be example. Gante is calling up for help. He's bleeding out right now. Only 50% of health left. But for example, to save him is going to be pretty difficult. Another nade landed on the Gante. Chopping himself now down to 30%. And looking for the finish. Gato with the nade. Before it's stolen away by another team. Maybe by BTR is making that rotation. Now Gante left with 20%. Not able to land it yet. And finally, Potato will. Now it's down to example to clutch it out.
This is not a very good spot to begin with, for the side of DRS, just because it's out there in the open, and Void Donkey receiving some damage as well. And yeah, 2 players left for Void Donkey, and if we remember it right, before we step into game number 1, they were at 9th place. And now they were able to back step elimination points, so I think that's going to be good. But unfortunately, Potato took a lot of hits coming from Tony K with that S12K, and Tony K getting the job done. 5 teams remaining here.
Yeah, Vampire Esports. They've been very, very busy in this round. And they will continue to be busy as we still have other teams here. Void Donkey and BTR next to each other, and the circle moved away from these teams. Vampire Esports has view of Void Donkey. Here comes Swept, spraying into the smoke, hoping to land a shot onto Gachor. And Tony K from the side. Smoke is still blinding them. They don't get a good clear view. As BTR now, they're busy with DRS. Final player is here, and Nate will be lobbed across by Hans Jill.
It's getting tight now. It's getting tight. You can see that Example is, of course, getting a lot of heat here, getting a lot of pressure. Example trying to dance it up. Of course, up against Hanzo. He was able to dodge some bullets, but it was Vox who actually took the point. But you know what? DRS was able to bag 5 elimination points, so I think it's okay. I mean, we're just opening up the matches here for day number 3. We're definitely going to see them pop off again for the next round. But in the meantime, let's check out what's going to happen with our final 4 teams here. Talent Esports continues to be favored by the blue zone. I mean, they do have that compound all to themselves, so it's a fortress right now for Talent. And we got Vampire Esports, of course, taking care of business up against the last remaining player for Void and Donkey, and there you go, Vampire sealing the deal.
Ooh, 10 eliminations now for Vampire Esports, but can they seal the deal with a chicken dinner? And at the same time, Void Donkey eliminated number 4, 4 elimination points. We are down to Talent, Vampire Esports, and BTR for the first chicken dinner.
Big names, big names. Okay, this is, it's like a Godzilla and Donkey Kong moment, you know? Like 2 titans or like 3 titans over here just really fighting for the first chicken dinner. So let's check out what's gonna happen. Vampire Miala popping up some smoke here to conceal his location. Vampire Esports is gauging the situation. Okay, how are we gonna play it? How are we gonna play it? Bigatron, they're over to the south side. Talon, they do have the compound, but Vampires, however, man, they're gonna come from outside. So, let's see if they can defend themselves up against BTR here.
And Shrubs moving in. They're still on the outside of the circle. And this is probably the opportunity to finish off BTR. Wow, Talon, they're actually just enjoying the inner circle. Unless Vampire Esports choose to rotate all the way up north, then their next target will be Talon, and that's where they will start to get busy.
It's gonna be hard though, it's gonna be hard for BTR, but they could have a chance because Talon actually went up against... Oh, Vampire went up against Talent Esports. Okay, so Bigatron, they don't have the numbers here, obviously. So yeah, they have the least chance of bagging chicken dinner. But then again, Vampire, I think they're all prepped up now, challenging up Talent, and we are seeing that Tony K is trying to flush out this player, trying to dance it up at a very low HP though. Can he even win the fight here?
Oh, Tony K knocked down, and one more to go. Talon still with 3 players defending their ground very well. It's only Mela left for Vampire Esports on the other building. And Mela, can he come up with something big here? Lots of damage on the Mela. He's forced to turn back to reheal.
Man, impeccable defense here set out by Talon Esports. Oh, and they continue to get the zone. Okay, last player for Vampires. And you know what, Bigatron? They're still letting the fight happen. No pressure just yet for both of the players to move forward. They're monitoring the situation, but you know what? They're letting Miola handle the business here up against Talon. So perhaps BTR are waiting for like both of teams here to be at their most vulnerable, and that will be the cue for them to strike.
Yeah, and BTR, they're just like being chilling right now. They don't really need to push it. They can just wait for the commotion to end before they go in. Well, that also depends on how much Mela can damage Talon. Or maybe Mela can pull off a clutch, a 1v3 clutch. That could be another possibility. So BTR, they're just waiting for the audio cue. They're waiting for that fight to start or end before they charge.
If Miola can actually put down Boysil, because it's a 3v1, if we're gonna be realistic here, Miola could be the one to be taken out of the game, right? But it will even up the fight here, Serpcloud, for the end game. BTR only has 2 players here, so if one Talon could be sent back to the lobby here, then it's gonna be an epic showdown between the 2 teams.
To reach the end game, we must go through Doomsday. And Doomsday will start anytime soon. Stage 8 people. Will the circle of Stage 8 force those within the compound to come out? That is what BTR is also banking on. If they are forced to come out because of the circle that shifts away from them, maybe favoring BTR. BTR, look at their position. They have a good line of sight the moment they exit the house.
Yep, first Mexican standoff, ladies and gents, and BTR, like we say, they're taking their sweet time here. There's no pressure just yet since we are at stage 7. Perhaps, you know, they're really waiting for stage 8 to check if the zone will be moving away, you know, from that compound. Perhaps Talon Esports together with Vampire, they're going to be forced to expose themselves, and that could be, of course, a great opportunity for BTR. But as long as we are still waiting here, man, okay. Oh, just like what we anticipated! So Talon, as well as Miaola Vampire Esports, need to leave the compound, and BTR, it's such a momentum shift here, a power position for Bigatron.
Yeah, move out into the open, where BTR will be waiting on the other side. Okay, by this Talon, they want to collect this point out of Vampire Esports, out of Mela. Let's see how Mela will be able to survive this one. Boychin knows exactly where he is. Restricting the play zone in 15 more seconds. The warning signal, people. And this is going to be a big run here for Talon if they can actually get out this alive.
Okay, here we go. Oh man, the intensity right now is shooting off the roofs. Talon Esports still on prone here. Still got a few seconds on the clock before this zone completely closes down. Miala's taking his time as well, but he's cooking that nade, so we're gonna let the boy cook. Miala does know exactly where to throw the nade, but can he get anyone knocked down? That's another question.
Okay, Ayo's cooking up the nade. Okay, here we go. Mela makes his run. Managed to survive the first phase, but not able to survive the second phase where Hunt still got him. Vampire Esports out. Nice between BTR and Talon. Talon, they have the numbers, but they don't have the circle. Now, Boy Chill going for a vehicle. Takes that damage and survives it for now. But the vehicle, oh man, smoking up.
Okay, this is gonna be interesting. A while ago, Talon Esports, they had all the advantages working out for their team, but with this kind of zone, the power shifted and it goes to BTR. It is still a 3v2, but it is going to be hard. It's going to be a little difficult onto the side of Talon just because they have to expose themselves out there in the open, and BTR just really waiting for them to step within the line of sight here, and Boysil already making a move with his buggy, was able to get behind that tree effectively.
Oh, okay, Boxy. Let's see, they're going to create a little bit more space in front of them by creating the smoke bridge. They do have this vehicle. Hansel goes into the middle of the circle. The smoke's still active. Hansel now will be the target of Talon. Look at the spread of Talon. Because they have the numbers, they can cover multiple angles, even more than BTR. They got Boxy. One more to go. Probably going to go all in right now on the Hansel, the last surviving member of BTR. On the left side, that is the angle that they will find against him. And Talon continues their reign at the top.
They ended day number 2 with a chicken dinner, and now they're doing it all over again for game number 1 here. Absolutely making a statement here. The Talent Esports is a team who is basically determined and motivated to finish at the top of Rootless Hype Esports Invitational Showdown Season 10.
And with this chicken dinner, of course, last we checked, they were at number 1 with more than 100 points. This will definitely create a certain gap at the top. But how big of that gap will be? That's something that we'll need to calculate, and we'll see later on. Will it be at least a 1-game gap, of course? Now with the points collected this time, so it is 8 elimination points collected by Talent, so 18 points for them. And with the fact that Alter Ego, they went out fairly early in this round, so surely that gap would have been there. Also, the other question is that, will Alter Ego still at least be at number 2?
Okay, so the drama intensifies as well, but it is still a sensational performance coming from Talon Esports. I mean, great in terms of elimination points, was able to hit their target, getting that chicken dinner. And we are going to see if Talon Esports was able to get just enough points to maintain their lead. And just for your questions regarding Alter Ego Eras, I do wonder if, because it's seasonal for them. I mean, they can be in the move to really be aggressive, turn into monsters, and be maniacs inside a battlefield. But there's also a day wherein they're so nonchalant. They're not even bothered with everything that is happening from the games, and just address everything in such a chill mode. But maybe Alter Ego Eris would love to be at the top, for today's set of matches. I mean, this is just the game number 1 in Erangel. We still got 5 more today.
Yeah, these teams, they do bother what happened in this game, obviously. That's why they are part of the teams to watch. Besides Talon, it's BTR, Vampire Esports, and Void a Donkey. Out of all these teams, the team with the least amount of time, full squad time, is Void Donkey, 18 minutes 45 seconds, but still able to make it in our top 4. We're going to compare the number 1 and number 2 team from that round. So Talon compared to BTR, even though BTR, they didn't score the chicken dinner, but they scored at least 1 elimination above Talon.
Yeah, and also, when it comes to the damage output, it's basically, just the same. It's just a couple of numbers there. But it is also an amazing performance. There was a moment there that I thought that, hey, maybe it's possible for Bigatron to actually score the chicken dinner compared to Talent Esports just because of their position. But I feel like the moment Boysa was able to reach and get behind the tree, I think, that was the beginning of the end, for Bigatron, because they were able to hold on to that angle, really went in for the pinch, and that was it. The chain of events that happened, and of course, Talent Esports winning the fight.
Well, let's not forget to celebrate Hansel with his debut as our MVP this round with 7 eliminations, 1,256 damage by himself. That is a lot of damage output there, and that's why his team contribution is up there as well with 77.78%. Next to him is Schwabs from Vampire Esports, and then Razak from Void Donkey. And of course, you always gotta have Tony K from Vampire Esports, so 2 players from Vampire Esports, just because they scored at least 10 elimination points this round, and they warrant themselves to have 2 representatives here as our top performers.
Hands flexing his muscle, definitely. I do wonder though if we can do something that could unlock his picture. It's a question for production. But anyway, match leaderboard here, ladies and gents, 18 points in total for our top spot here. Talon coming in at second. We've got Bigatron with 15. They're tied up with Vampire Esports. So perhaps, what are we looking here? Maybe the placement points or like the average survival time. Void Donkey, Champions, DRS Gaming, and even D Savior was able to rack decent number of points here. So they're going to be safe.
And when it comes to throwables use, interestingly, we didn't hit 200, but that's fine. 173, that's okay. For Hansil, well, we're still not letting him go yet. He is in the longest elimination distance stat with 393. Not the most important stat if you ask me, but it's always nice to have your name up there. So maybe Hansil is sending a message to his management that, hey, I want to be a mainstay in the main lineup for this upcoming season. So put me in. I would expect to see more Hansil in the following round.
I want to be the very best. Oh, different game, different game, different game. Yeah, I believe we witnessed this. The when he actually went for that longest elimination distance. I think he was just maybe doing a tap in fire, maybe with a mini 14. But yeah, that was an amazing feat. But overall rankings, we were talking about like if Talent Esports can maintain their lead here, 119 still at the top here. Vampire Esports again moved up 2 ranks with 99. Okay, FaZe one chicken dinner, 93 points. Same thing goes for Alter Ego Eras, but as you can see on the screen here, Alter Ego actually moved down 2 ranks.
Yeah, so they're at number 4 right now. So there's an okay gap between them and Talon. Talon's still not running away from it yet. So with the game to go, it could still happen. But on page 2, so for Champions Esports, they are still at number 16. But we do have some positive movers here. DRS currently at number 11 and D Xavier with a chicken dinner before. They are at number 12 right now. Aura Esports, they dropped from page 1 to page 2 with 67 points. But objectively, if we were to only look at points, well, 11 more games to go. You know they can do it. But before we head on to the next round, as usual, we're going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen. So do not go anywhere. We'll see you guys after this one. And go! We are back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Ruthless Invitation Showdown Season 10. Game number 2 for today. Coming up next. We're still here with you. My name is Sir Cloud together with Red Queen. And Red Queen, 11 more games for the teams. And for you to score your first prediction. Where is it?
I got 11 chances to score one right, but why is it not happening? Why are you doing this to me?
I know, right? The teams
don't
are just
know.
being cruel, right? It's like as if they see you doing the prediction, they'll be like, I'm gonna give Red Queen that. Not today.
Not today. I mean, this is probably my first time maybe ending a tournament without actually getting any score done. My goodness. Okay, I don't know what's happening. Maybe I have been infected by the curse for this tournament. I don't know. I don't want to jinx anything, but please give me that score. But if in case you just tuned in, okay, for match number 13, it was all about Talon Esports scoring a chicken dinner. And now we're gonna start to drop in Miramar. This is going to be our first Miramar. Yeah, let's see who is, of course, strong enough, confident enough, aggressive enough, and smart enough to get that win.
It could be either one of these top Miramar performers. Hora Esports, Celcom DJ Alliance, Vampire Esports, and, well, Talon still up here. So who knows? If we look at the stats, Hora Esports, they dominate most of the stats here. Maybe this will be a comeback round for Hora Esports this time. Since in the first game, they didn't really do that well. But if they can come back big this round, then, well, we can say that Hora Esports is back. But will they be part of Red Queen's prediction, or will it be another team?
You know what? I was thinking, yeah, I'll go with Aura Esports. I just have a question, but you can pick your choice first.
Oh, okay. Well, production considered that you locked in. So
Locked in, yeah.
okay, cool. I'm going with stats this time. So I like to bring on a Celcom DG Alliance.
I knew it. Kind of felt
Yeah.
you were going for a Celcom TG Alliance. Understandably so. I mean, the guys took a win yesterday. So, I'm curious at like which production is gonna put in their box.
Oh,
Really now? Talon getting
Oh.
back to back winner chicken it that much fate, huh? Okay.
all the
Okay.
chips in, all the chips in for production. They
Oh,
not only won
big
to
player.
get this prediction right, but they want to be the most predicted right of them all.
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing there, production. I mean, okay. Okay, for Horror Esports, this is my question because I know we've got a lot of purple hearts down there, just waiting to see when Horror Esports is gonna come back, and pop off in the battlefield. So, since they were able to show us a sneak peek of what they can do during the playoffs. I mean, it was a pretty aggressive one. Consistency is there, everything working out for them. The formula is okay and it's effective. So perhaps they're maybe trying out some new strategies that they can use in the official tournaments, or perhaps, okay, we've already secured a slot in the grand finals, so we're gonna go and chill now.
Okay, we're gonna go and chill now. Now
Now,
it's the finals. It's the finals.
in the
Or
finals.
are you saying that okay, maybe chill now and then just bang everyone like towards the end just to prove a point that hey, we are capable of playing the comeback game too.
Well, placement points are the big points, and kill points are the ones that keep you in the race. Perhaps we've been seeing them really go aggressive during the first zones. Perhaps they could prioritize and go for the placement strategy first, and then get those elimination points in the bag. I mean, that could happen. That could happen. But I think the moment that we're gonna find out if they're gonna take this one on the passive side or aggressive side is the moment that we drop in Miramar.
Which we will be dropping to Miramar after this. Yeah. And if we were to recall some of the potential clash points in Miramar, let's see. Depending on the flight path, maybe Impala, that could be one. But that really depends on the flight path. If it's not really flight path dependent, then Power Grid, Triparacy versus PTR, that might happen again. So we will want to keep an eye on these two key areas at the very beginning. So far, nowhere else has had early clash points unless something changes today just because it's the second last day and maybe teams want to cancel out each other. But let's go! Miramar.
Here we go, ladies and gents. You know, the more the merrier, so do invite your friends because we are about to start our game in Miramar. So have a little game for yourselves and maybe choose who you think is going to win the chicken dinner for match number 14. It's nice, you know, to play those little games with friends or maybe your brothers and your sisters. It's a good PUBG match here. We got the best of the best in the lobby, so might as well enjoy the show.
Yeah, let's go and enjoy the show right now because the flight path will start from the north all the way down to the south and it is passing by Impala. So the Impala clash might potentially happen. Could be Boy Donkey and RRQ. Let's see that. But I'm also looking over at the stats. So now the stats, the one that's hitting it is jumbled up. We got Delta with the highest hit shots. Rosemary still with the highest damage, but Tony K is behind him by about 500, so it's not that far. Most eliminations is now Tony K, so every stat has a different leader now.
Okay, I'm liking what I'm seeing. That's great. You know, it can add up to the drama that we have so far. Alter Ego Rosemary getting dethroned by Vampire Tony K. All right, that's exciting. But as for the teams, okay, they're already opening up their shoots here. Aura Esports phase, they're headed towards the north side. Alter Ego Ares is spread out evenly on the map here, but hey, this is the fight that we've been waiting for to happen. We got Vikings on screen here. Oh, and up against the Savior.
Yeah, and it's the Lost Learners fight, okay? We don't get to see this happen all the time very early, but maybe Wunti, he saw an opportunity to eliminate Paragen. And that's going to be the first blood this round by Vikings. And we will also have access to the buggy right in front of him earlier. So now it might be a small truce inside Lost Learners because it's big enough to house up to 3 teams anyway. So as long as these teams don't decide or deliberately want to just rush in, take the frontal approach, they should be fine. Unless there is a feeling by Xavier that they want to seek revenge. But with 3 players, they can always chill and play later or meet them later.
Okay. Maybe we should talk about the fact that okay, Wunti used to play with D Savior, right? So perhaps, you know, since you know, he has experience, he probably had already taken down notes on like how everybody play. I mean, he complemented the game style very well, blended it with a team. So perhaps those notes that he was able to learn while playing with them, do you think that he is applying that on how they can probably destroy the Savior from this exchange?
Ooh.
Ooh.
That is an interesting thought. Okay. Because we'll be playing 2 back-to-back Miramas, right? If it happens again the next round, then we can start to say that, okay, it could be a pattern on how they deal with the Xavier very, very early on. But of course, I'm pretty sure that the Xavier is also adaptable. I mean, they're one of the top teams in the world. So they will adapt to the situation. But that's, of course, then comes the challenge of Vikings. It's like, how do they adapt to the adaptable? It's like playing a game of chess.
It's true. It's true. It's true. Just a while ago, I mean, we were witnessing what was going on in Erangel. I mean, it was like the teams moving their pieces, right, just to make sure that they get the chicken dinner. And again, you know, it's not just about the mechanical skills and how good you are when it comes to your aim. It's also about really you know, like battling your wits out of this, just really how you can outsmart continuously your opponents in the game. But let's see if Bigatron by Vitality can do exactly that, because Trix, he is looting on that end, and you know, as you can see on the screen here, Malakbik is getting closer and closer. Do you think Malakbik knows that Trix is just behind there?
Yeah, now he probably doesn't know. He was looking at down the hallway. So he's very cautious about Trix being there. That's why he's navigating around this warehouse using the walls. But a shot came from the other side, and that did hit. So signal to Trix to just rush in.
Oh,
and Malabik will be down.
great anticipation. It's like he knows exactly where Malakbik is going to hide. So again, that is a nice execution coming from Triumph Aeromacy. They probably have down, the communications down. Great demonstration there of tactical gameplay coming from Triumph Aeromacy. And now let's see if Bigatron can pick up the pace here. Can they counter up against Triumph Aeromacy now that they're down to 3 players?
And for BTR, they're still playing Hunt still, by the way. Federal is still inside of Power Grid. They don't really need to force this fight. I mean, Power Grid is not in the circle. And they have 3 players. Probably their best strategy is to try to exit the Federalists. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. He does have a vehicle. And there you go. They should be able to get away. And they should get away, if you ask me. I mean, is it a worthwhile fight for them to take? Not really. Well, unless if they really, really want to test themselves, since this is an off-season tournament anyway, to try to overcome the situation, then yeah, sure. But BTI at the end of the day, they decide not to.
They could really go and experiment here. You always have to find a way on how you can respond better compared to the enemies in the game, right? So you have to run a lot of strats, a lot of tactics, just to make sure that you really have it down. Like whatever happens, the muscle reflexes, the play will then be executed smoothly. So we do understand the fact like why there's a need for those pro players to actually train 10 to 12 hours a day. I mean, it could be hard, to read everything that's gonna go on and happen from inside of the tournaments, and so you have to be ready in all possible situations.
But the situation right now is that the circle moved towards the right side, centered around Impala, with about 50% of water in this circle. Of course, we can expect the circle to pull to the land area later on. But if it does pull to Impala, yeah, I do like the circle there. It's very, very challenging. Multiple level of hills, and then you have a bit of water, you have a bit of that bay. So it's always fun to watch a circle in Impala. And if it goes there, Void Donkey, that's their house. They would love that circle in Impala.
Oh, for sure. And can't wait to show you guys where the circle actually went. So we do have 40% water here. So there could be a chance for the circle to favor those 2 islands that we can see far southeast. Well, if we're talking about like the full Miramar, but right now it's on the east side of the zone. So I do wonder if it's gonna go there. It's probably like the Los Higos effect, if in case the circle went down south. But in the meantime, there are already a lot of teams, the coast side, Alter Ego Eras, Void Donkey, Team Secret, even Vampire Esports. They're all together. So yeah, I feel like the fight now might ensue just because of the fact that DRS, there's at least 2 teams headed towards that entry point to where they are, and that will be FaZe and Horror Esports.
We talked about the next phase of the circle, whether it will go to the islands or not. This could be the answer. And let's see how far it will pull.
Oh man.
100% all the way to land. So we're not going to see the 2 island circle again. Oh well, that has to wait. But what will be waiting is Champions Esports taking the opportunity against Vikings that passed by and break. He needs a break from this. He took a lot of damage. Now the rest of Vikings, looks like they will leave Break alone for now. They know that he can get away by himself.
I'm pretty sure that there will be fights to happen. Clean up onto the northern side, in the middle, and even down south. That is for sure. Fireworks definitely is gonna happen in just a few while. They're super close to each other, even Champions Esports. So I am anticipating a collision between those 3 teams that I just mentioned. DRS as well, and even Alter Ego Eras, and even the possibility of FaZe actually joining in. BTR, well, they might find each other, having an exchange with Aura Esports, just because both of the teams are headed towards the same direction. They are basically parallel to each other.
So that means there's a chance that they will meet. Okay? enough land for these teams. Yeah, we are 100% land now, so teams don't need to worry about like, oh, there's some water there that they can't play. They can just play as usual now with this current circle, and we're only at stage 2, so a bit of an anticlimactic for the circle to give us. But on the elimination feed, we have Superman gunning down the player of RRQ. Looks like they're going to rush into this compound at where they are. Hunts for you, finish off by Superman. Whoa!
Rebecca, man, that was nasty. But anyway, beautifully done. That was a great nade. Let's see if Vikings can actually respond with the same thing. Superman now coming into play, trying to get an angle done up against RQ, and there goes Nerpeko down on the ground. Superman is putting on his red cape.
And a break will need to come in to give further backup. Superman needs help on the low ground. Break still on the high ground. Wonti is calling out for help as well. He needs to be revived, but they need to win this fight against RRQ before they can actually pick him up. Same time, Alter Ego, they lost one player elsewhere. They're on screen right now in a fight with another team.
Oof, Superman has been holding on to that nade for so long. And of course, nade wasn't that good. We got Krypton on the screen. Alter Ego Eris versus FaZe Clan. Krypton picked a nade as well. Okay, I think he already threw it. Both Alter Ego Eris is actually just staying at the top of the stairs here. But Voin Donkey was able to put down a player from Champions. But you know what? Alpaucho was able to counter effectively.
Oh, here comes the gunfire. Wonti finish off by the zone. Point kind of denied away. Anyway, for the Vikings, they continue to fight on. Break will be gunned down by Lapa. One more to go. It's going to be Superman. And Jins comes in at the right timing to support Superman. They actually won the fight against RRQ.
Wow, that was amazing. That was amazing. And here we go. The fight continues on between Void Donkey and Champions Esports. But of course, we're still looking into Alter Ego Eris defending this very compound that we can see on the screen here. Daybot, of course, about to step out of the house. And from the top, we've got Shepard getting dropped by Daybot.
Beautifully done by Alter Ego. Even with the Alpha, they're still able to win this fight. The Red Bull taken hostage right now by Alter Ego. Will the other players of FaZe Clan want to come and save him? I doubt so. Dewey is kind of far away, so he has to let Red Bull go. But look at what Rosemary is doing. He's chasing Dewey. He wants blood.
Oh man, Rosemary right now is hunting. Okay, let's see what's going to happen. Krypton also trying to get close, backing up Rosemary in this process. Now, Rosemary with an SOK goes now for the charge. Okay, bait in the fish, and here comes another attack now. Trying to dance it off, but Dewey, man, he just got dropped hard by Rosemary.
Well, now Potato has to drop it like it's hot. As well against Champions Esports, 2 players left. The IGL himself put on a captain's performance. He will get Atomic. One more to go on the left side. Still with his trusty shotgun. Very low on bullets at this point. He gets to swap over to Raskael. He sees Urkas. Lots of damage to Urkas. Just one more bullet needed. And now, Raskael should be able to get Urkas, and he will put in a captain's performance.
That was great, to be honest. I mean, he was trying to choose between the door and the window as to where he needs to point his gun, but great pre-fire, great anticipation, and great defense right there, hence winning the fight. Now, we're looking at 13 teams remaining. We are at stage 3 here, ladies and gents. On screen, we got Vampire Esports. Well, they're already smacked down there in the middle, together with Hora and together with Team Secret. So I feel like Tony K, yeah, he's probably talking to the rest of the team here. Hey, maybe it is now time for us to go for a push here up against Team Secret, because Team Secret is holding on to a compound, which makes this a prime spot.
Federales. Go for Mika. He's got 10% of health left in his buggy. Gunned down by Federales from this distance with his 3x scope M4. And Sky will get the Drexy from the other side. So 2 teams actually looking at some 9.
Okay. Perhaps, this could be the turning page now for Hora Esports. We've been waiting for them to really step it up. We miss. of course, having horror esports being aggressive in the battlefield, and they do need the points as well. But anyway, map feed. We've got at least what? How many teams here? 4 teams. They'll be coming from the southwest side. So let's check it out. From the kill feed, it's Talon versus Vampire Esports. Ayok getting dropped here.
What?
Shreks now doing a massive spray, and now switches to an F4K. Oh, a lot of them dropping like flies here. And at the end of that clash, it was Vampire Esports, of course, taking the win.
Ooh, 0 points this time for our number one team, Talon. Opportunity for the teams below them to catch the number one spot. Now, Team Secret, they want to try to take out Vampire Esports. Zhangzin, knocked down. 10% of health left. GK, he has to save him quickly. If not, he might bleed out. But it's actually Lamborghini from the other side finishing off Zhangzin.
Okay, GK cooking up, potentially shutting down 2 players from Vampire Esports, but he doesn't know where they are. Okay, so this is an advantage that Vampire Esports can keep to themselves, but we got Newsy here cooking up a nade, switches back to Zam for 16. GK stepping away for now. And, if Vampire Esports, of course, would love to play up against Team Secret, they're the ones that will have to push forward. But as for Rosemary, he did spot Superman, went for a massive spray, but was able to not actually shut him down just yet.
Oh, 3 eliminations now for Rosemary. 5 in total for Alter Ego. Looks like this could be the round where they might be on fire. They really want to take that number one spot now with the fact that Talon has been eliminated. Now, Hyper Messi is going to be going up against Team Secret that has this compound. This compound is still valuable as it's in the circle, but look from Celcom DJ Alliance. Look at one player from Hyper Messi. It's Strix, but points stolen away by Xavier.
Yeah, I mean, Trix was the one far away from the rest of Tribe Air Macy because, the other players from Tribe busy actually dealing with Team Secret. But coming off the kill feed, man, Superman, I think, was eliminated. Yes, sir. Vikings already out of the game here. 11 teams remaining for stage 4. We got Vampires with 2 casualties now. Miola, Tony K out, and it's Schweppes and Newsy for the play.
And here comes the spray from afar. Sleepy will get 1. Okay, looking for the next target. Federalis is in the line of sight of Sleepy. Okay, but Federalis managed to use the terrain to hide away from Horror Esports. On the other side, BTR, they're recovering. On the elimination feed, looks like Vampire Esports and Celcom DJ Alliance in the fight, where Celcom DJ Alliance, they won it against Vampire, taking them out at number 11.
All right, here we go. Lamborghini manages to find a spot for him, but the question is if he can be able to utilize that effectively. Now, Sem9 versus Horror Esports. No fear taking some damage from that nade. Needs to step back for now. Needs to recuperate, obviously. Sky is responding back to Firen, but oh no, that wasn't a very good step forward because he got shut down by none other than BTR. So technically, this is already a 3-way battle.
Oh, and look at the circle. DRS is in the middle of it. They have the circle with the compound. This is a big advantage circle for them. If we run now against No Fear, 1v1. No Fear with the QBZ. You have this nade, Fearon, prepping the molly as well. But and No Fear forcing him to move back. No Fear receives damage. Looks like he came from the high ground. I wonder who is the one that's actually shooting on the No Fear.
Yeah, I believe those are the guys from BTR perhaps. Yeah, Sleepy. Yeah, there you go. That was the exchange. Hands now got dropped. And Horror Esports, they do have a slight advantage here, but for how long? That is a big question. But Lamborghini getting shut down as well out there in the open. We got going back to Firen. He is now ready for the charger, holding onto his S12K, but No Fear says no.
But Sem9 is out too. Now we're going to focus on the Voxy versus D Xavier. And Voxy, he's alone here. His other teammates on the other side. So Voxy's managing D Xavier by himself. His trusty M4 by the edge of the blue, while at the same time the blue is closing. Voxy takes blue damage. Is it trying to deny away the point? It looks like that could be the case. Okay, he's healed up by taking that long approach. Where's his vehicle? If he doesn't have a vehicle, it's going to be pretty hard.
It is gonna be hard. But this Savior BTR, this is, of course, have to push through. I mean, one team is going to be left alive dealing with Tribe Aramasi the moment they step into the zone here. So let's see what Lamborghini is going to do in the situation. It's pretty low in HP. He was able to shut down Vox. Federales already down on the ground as well. D-Saver down to 2 players here, Lamborghini and Levi's. But you know what? They are managing a lot of teams here. Oh, unfortunately, Levi's received a huge nade coming from BTR, hence getting eliminated from the match.
And again, Hanstill is final player for BTR, but this time he'll need to survive Hora Esports, spraying him down, and looks like no fear will get him. Hora Esports dominating 5 elimination points. Could Hora Esports be back this round?
Okay, here we go. A little quiet, please. Team Secret getting into position. Remember that they are the ones holding on to a compound here. Tribe Aramasi is at the edge. They are still included in the zone, but there's a need for them to move forward. So this is one business that they have to deal with if they want to stay in the match. And now we can see both of the teams are trying to cook up a very good plan. But in the meantime, let's check out DRS since they are already down there in the middle. So far, they're hearing all of the gunshots surrounding them, but they're waiting for the teams to actually come at them instead. They're sitting comfortably in the middle, so there's no need for them to leave the compound. But as for Celcom DG Alliance, okay, they're the ones close to Team Secret, Tribe Aramasi, and even Hora Esports. So this 4 teams that we just mentioned, they're definitely gonna have a trade-off now that the circle shifted once again, still favoring the real soldiers.
Whoa, okay, the real soldiers. What a circle for them again. Because they got the circle, the downside is that they don't get many opportunities to claim elimination points. Maybe later, maybe later. While allowing all these teams to cancel each other, they will go up more placements, giving them more placement points. Now we have lots of teams on the left side of the circle, including Hora Esports, Tribe Aramasi here as well. They're looking at each other. Both teams planning on how to get into the circle, but they're in a gridlock right now.
You're absolutely right, Sir Cloud. And here comes Tribe Aramasi now, putting a little pressure onto the side of Hora. XYZ cooking up a nade here. They're hearing someone is actually pretty close. And ooh, how are they processing the information? Where they're pretty accurate because that nade was on point. Here comes the massive spray up against Sky. That's XYZ for you, ladies and gents. And now he's cooking up a molly here, throwing up against Sky. Let's see if Sky survives the clash.
And the volley just right behind Sky. Managed to heal up, but the moment he step up behind the 3, and he will be taken out. It's going to be XCY eliminating him. Now it's only Sleepy, the final player for Hora Esports. They are by the edge of the circle, buying a bit of time for themselves, as Sky will be revived right now by Sleepy. But they have to be prepared in case Tribe Aramasi charges in. But Tribe Aramasi, they are not recharging it right now. Still, QYX977 still putting the pressure onto them. And XZY and Cole will come in from the other side.
Oh!
There you go.
Man, it was hard. It was a vulnerable spot. They are in between. I mean, they're in a valley there. I mean, Tribe Aramasi was able to take hold of the high ground advantage. It was nowhere for them to run. It was an absolute convincing win for the side of Tribe Aramasi. And now they have a chance to go for that chicken dinner as well. But as for DRS, they've already managed to spot some players coming from Team Secret. They're also looking at Celcom DG Alliance and Celcom. They're receiving a lot of damage coming from XMPL Spray. We've got Killer YT also keeping a close eye on the E-Star here. Go for the massive spray. Once again, Caleb taking a lot of damage. And let's see if they can survive the first attack.
And long range tap continued by a DRS. Collect the second elimination point at least. Iftar takes that damage. They managed to crawl towards the teammate. And behind the haystack, they should be able to reset. They should be able to recover. Krypton gets QYX977. And the rest of Rosemary came in. Together with Team Secret. Looks like Tribe Aramasi fell to the hands of 2 different teams.
Oh man, Tribe Aramasi now just got dropped. 5 teams remaining here. DRS still with a complete squad. Okay, number advantage definitely go to them. Alter ego eras, they're trying to, of course, take a hold on most of the space here inside the zone. just probably checking out as to where the gunshots actually coming from. But as for DRS, okay, they are managing all of the angles right here. Rosemary, we've got Celcom DJ Alliance, Voin Donkey, Team Secret, looking at just one direction here, and that is, of course, the middle of the zone. We got an example with a Mini 14. There goes a tap in 5, but bullets not coming through.
Celcom DG Alliance just across DRS. They do have circle though. I wonder if the teams who want to put focus on the DRS, some teams actually rotating from the north, coming in, and that's going to be Alter Ego. Now, just on the outside of DRS, they could crash here onto DRS's compound anytime soon. That means that Celcom DG Alliance will have a second lifeline now that the focus of DRS has shifted towards Alter Ego.
All right, everyone is talking to each other. Alter Ego is just checking out the spot here. How are we gonna move forward? Celcom DG Alliance is not really technically the best of spot, but it is what works for now. Obviously, they need to deal with Team Secret. They need to deal with Voin Donkey before they can even focus their attention to DRS. But for Alter Ego Airs, I think they are the closest team that could potentially shut down a DRS if they decide to actually snag that compound from DRS.
Yeah, and they might execute their plan anytime soon. Since now the zone is closing, they'll be forced to move forward anyway. But for Celcom DG Alliance, they're also busy with Voin Donkey. Razak, 40 out of nades. If he has nades, then he might lob it to Iftar. But Iftar has his own nade. Cooking it up. Trying to aim it onto Razak. But he cancelled that nade, it seems. Okay, he's still waiting for the right moment. Razak's not making his move yet. But Potato, gunned down by Iftar. Iftar found an opportunity to claim another point for Celcom DG Alliance.
Potato just got buried in the ground. Celcom Digital Alliance, K-Look and Iftar together fighting on Team Secret. So this is a 2v2 happening between these two teams. And Razak, I don't think is going to be coming into the fight here. He doesn't have the manpower, so might as well just be quiet for now. But you know what? Iftar is looking at his direction while K-Look is keeping Team Secret at bay here. But let's see what's going to happen. What if Voin Donkey, Razak, and as well as Team Secret just went in for a massive spray here up against Celcom DG Alliance? That could also be a possibility.
Yeah, because the zone might force them to do that now that the circle has shifted, still favoring Celcom DG Alliance and DRS on the other side. Razak will be forced to move forward, so might as well take that risk and charge in. Same goes for Team Secret. He could probably play the tractor in front of them and that's about it. But for Razak, he does not have any more cover in front of him.
Oh,
He has to take a
no.
bit of risk next.
He does have to force his way in, and that means, of course, going after Celcom DG Alliance. But you know what? Here we go. The fight that we have been waiting for. DRS defending the compound up against Alter Ego Ares. Daybot goes down hard. Krypton trying to defend himself still. But one active member, or two active members go. Now make that one. DRS is absolutely winning the fight here.
DRS defending the ground against Alter Ego. Gante will finish off Krypton. Rosemary, the final player for Alter Ego. Unless he can pull up a clutch here. Or they know exactly where he is. Dances together with DRS, but from the outside, DRS will finish off Alter Ego. Top 3 teams, ladies and gentlemen. Make that top 2 between DRS and Celcom DG Alliance now.
Solid defense coming from the Real Soldiers, and man, do they still have the number advantage. Yes, sir, up against Celcom DG Alliance. And you know what? There is no pressure at all for DRS to leave the compound. Perhaps they could go in for a charge here, but that could also put them at risk. But we can see that Delta is popping off those smokes and getting ready to cross the road. And this is such a bold move coming from DRS. They know that they have all the advantages for their team, and they're gonna go for it.
Yeah, they're not wasting any more time. I want to put the pressure on the Celcom DG Alliance, and with the position that DRS has put themselves, they're not worried about the circle, they're not worried about the zone, because right now Celcom DG Alliance is closer to the blue. Here comes Killer YT with his nade, cooks it up, sends it across, lots of damage onto Adelu, almost getting him.
Alright, here we go. This is pretty interesting. K looked pretty low in HP, but he was able to heal himself up. Giante going up angle here, while Killer Whitey's cooking up a nade. So much pressure right now from the side of Celcom DG Alliance. Giante
Trying to go in for the charge here, holding on to his M416, and Iftar goes down hard.
And here comes the charge in onto Audit. Look! Do not write them off yet, ladies and gentlemen. The real soldiers, DRS, with the grand final chicken dinner.
Let me see those blue hearts. Blue hearts, ladies and gents, for the real soldiers getting the chicken dinner. Match number 14 here. Oh man, we have been waiting for them to pop up, and here we go. A fan service to everyone. DRS with a WWCD.
It's been quite a waiting for the fans, I'm sure. But it's still not too late for DRS. If they can continue on this momentum, who knows? They could come out with a surprise from behind with this sort of performance, the DRS. Now, it's a matter of looking at how many points did they manage to collect. So far in this round, they collected 8 elimination points in total. Everyone exactly scored 2 elimination points. You don't get to see that kind of number every day. So do screenshot this one. That means 18 points collected for DRS in this round. Everybody pulled their weight pretty much equally.
2 points each. So everybody contributed to like the win here for this round. They're absolute monsters. Now, again, what we're looking for, any team, like from any team here, is consistency. Again, everyone is kind of flaky, right? I mean, sometimes they really go strong, sometimes they go passive. So we're trying to mix everything. And trying to check like, okay, which team is gonna go for that high octane, high energy gameplay for the next round. But before we even, of course, dive into the next round, we have to give the spotlight to DRS. Just because, you know, it has been a long time coming. We've started day number 1 the other day, and now we are second to the last day before we wrap things up for this tournament. And it's great to see that DRS was able to step onto the pedal here and really showing us what they got.
Yeah, besides DRS, of course, our second place finishers, Celcom DJ Alliance is part of the team to watch. Team Secret as well, and also Alter Ego that charge in onto the compound of DRS. I mean, they didn't really have the choice. That's their only option, is to try to win the fight against DRS in their own compound. Now we're going to compare the head-to-head. Potato here, 4 eliminations by himself. And also comparing with Kilo IT, the main man of DRS, with 2 eliminations. Damage output, although Kilo IT only 2 eliminations, but his damage output is a little bit more than Potato, including 3 assists more than Potato himself. So all-around team player. But the all-around player this round is, welcome back, Rosemary.
Okay. I do wonder after this round if he is successful, of course, in reclaiming the spot here from Tony K as being the most valuable player, but I guess we'll find that out later on. I do wonder, though, if DRS was successful in taking that compound from DRS Gaming moments ago. Do you think that it's going to be a fair fight, or like an even fight with them and Celcom DJ Alliance?
Well, I mean, if you talk about numbers, then clearly it wasn't. But of course, the story is told like along the way, and not only that one single fight. And yeah, one thing that gave DRS the advantage is the circle on top of them. But for these players, if you can see here, none of them come from DRS. But what's important is that DRS, they scored the most points among them all, 18 points collected. And then you have Celcom DJ Alliance, 11 points, followed by Team Secret, Alter Ego, 10 points, the double-digit club. The only team to not score a single point, surprise, surprise, is actually our number 1 team, Talon.
Well, I guess if you're doing good, then you'll be having those targets on your back. I mean, that's how it works, right? It's all about survival. It's all about smart gameplay. It's all about mechanical skills. And right now, Talent Esports, they tripped and they had an early elimination, thus not getting anything from this round. So let's check out the numbers on the stats here. We got 189 thermals used in the game, which is, I think, is a fair number, especially when we're playing in Miramar. Usually it really goes down, but for the airdrops looted, okay, we only have 396 for the longest elimination distance set up by Levi's of the Savior.
Okay, even though Talon, they didn't score any points this round, but they're still at number 1. Okay, still unshaken. But we also welcome Vampire Esports and Alter Ego into the 100-point club. Both of them sharing the same amount of points, 103. divided only by the tiebreaker of that chicken dinner. As of now, Alter Ego is the only team on page 1 without a chicken dinner. No chicken dinner, no problem for Alter Ego. But after that chicken dinner, we have to welcome DRS onto page 1, currently at number 8 with 84 points. The points of page 1 is still very tight.
Hmm. Yes, now on the second page here, BTR continues to be pushed even further down. So something needs to be tweaked, something needs to be changed. But let's find out if they're going to do just that. 77 points, tied up currently with Team Secret here. Hora pushing down the ranks as well. The only team that had a slight improvement here in terms of the gameplay would be Tribe Aeromacy, moving up one rank. But there's plenty of stories that still can unravel because we still got plenty more of games here. So more of that, ladies and gents. Don't go away. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. you guys are still thirsty for some action after we just witnessed a spectacular gameplay coming from everyone. So don't worry, we got you. We got you. But anyway, welcome back to Ruthless Invitational Showdown Season 10. Again, my name is Red Queen together with Sir Cloud. And yeah, we're almost halfway through since we are already at match number 3, the second Miramar this evening.
Yeah, we just saw DRS scoring that chicken dinner. So teams on pace 2. Who knows, we might see that surprise. But still no surprise for Talent, even though they didn't score a single point. They were the only team to not score a point, but they still retained their number 1 spot. So that is the advantage of, like, you have created that a bit of a soft cushion gap for yourself. But of course, you cannot continue to use that. You need to maintain your pace. So let's see if that will change in Miramar coming up next. So an update of our top Miramar performers: Hora Esports, Southcom DJ Alliance, DRS, and Vampire Esports.
Yep, let's see who will have a resurgence this time coming in at the second Miramar this evening. And again, we are already our third match, just in case you guys are trying to keep track. The Miramar performers, okay, at least this will be our sort of guide, you know, to who's going to be picking the team that will get the chicken dinner. And, man, I'm already sweaty here, Sir Cloud, you know, just giving me all this anxiety at like which team am I gonna pick next? Because luck has been not really playing for me for this tournament. I don't even know why.
Well, I can understand why. I mean, it's a donut that needs to change to a French fry. So
Oh no!
yeah. Well, I can go first. I guess this round I want my daily dose of Hora Esports. Let's put it in. Hora, time for you.
Oh man. Okay. You know what? This time I'll go with Celcom DJ Alliance.
Okay, a team on the stats as well. Okay, and they came close earlier. They were at second place. I picked Southcom DJ Alliance
Right?
before this and second place finish. But yeah, it is what it is. So, production, who you gonna go for? Who you gonna go for? Oh,
Wow.
Rising Rosemary.
Okay, all right. Alter Ego, or you guys have been picking them actually for the second time today, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, but yeah, I do understand. I mean, Alter Ego Air is showing a lot of potential to be in the mood, right, to perform for us today. So yeah, I don't doubt it at all. And Horror Esports, what can we say? Huh. The energy right now I'm feeling from them is really not the same during the playoffs. But of course, we are not saying that they're not really a good team. You know, they have not been performing. Therefore, you know, we don't like to pick them. But a fact of the matter is, again, this is an off-season tournament, and we are at the mercy of these spectacular teams here, whether or not they're going to show up in each of the matches for tonight. But then again, Horror Esports, they've shown us their teeth, their aggressiveness, and all we want is for them to really stick to the teams here inside the lobby and get that chicken dinner. But you know what? We're about to find out because we are about to start the match.
Match number 3, the final match before our second split for today. Back onto Miramar. So let's see what kind of circle we're gonna get. We didn't really get the Impala circle towards the end earlier. We almost got it, but that's okay. This is the second chance. Flight path is going to start from Impala all the way to the left side of Valade Mars. So Impala, direct drop for Boing Donkey. Now for Power Grid. That is the common clash point between Tribe Messi and also BTR. Potentially that might happen again.
Rosemary back on the top with a number of headshots, most eliminations, and of course highest damage output. Man, he was able to snatch that throne against, or from, rather, Tony K of Vampire Esports. You can still see Sky's name, of course, in the lineup, but Schweppes coming into play here with the most number of elimination points as well, and Delta from DRS, apparently still in this list.
Yeah, he's still there and he's still everywhere as well. Headshots, you see Delta, and then later you see him more. But you starting to see more of Rosemary at the forefront again. So maybe that's a clue towards the end of the day. But we still have 4 games to go, including this one, before we reevaluate the daily MVP to see if Rosemary is still the one. Circle centered around Chumacera. And that high ground of Chumacera on the south side, that will be very, very valuable for all these teams.
Okay, early fight happening at the moment. Talon versus Tribe Aramasi, and well, Tribe Aramasi losing a member right off the bat. Not the way you want to start the match, but Talon Esports, great job getting to the guns first. So that is, of course, an effective first run, for Talons. And as for the other teams here, let's check out. Okay, that's your best friend. So boys, so while they're on rotation, Tribe Air Macy, of course, is just trying to hide and trying to have that element of surprise and hoping if they can actually flip the script here up against Talons Esports.
Oh, it's not Tribe and BTR, it's this time Tribe and Exo. YZ versus Exo.
Whoa!
Exo absolutely not prepared for that. I mean, how could you, right? Because XZY, he was the one standing at the corner or squatted at the corner, just listening to the footsteps, and that's how he took advantage of that one. So that point goes to Tribe Pharmacy anyway.
Yeah, I'm wondering like what kind of things that XYZ is saying in inside his head, like, okay, come closer, come closer, come closer. Oh, that's enough. Boom, and then he went for a spray there, getting the job done. And yes, you are absolutely right. I mean, I don't even understand why he was kind of loose and his guards were down. It's like as if no trade that happened. And we've gone through a lot of Miramars already since this is already day number 3. So you know that there's a team that loves to challenge you for that very spot as well. So they will be spread out in that particular spot.
Maybe they didn't thought about that because Tribe Pharmacy normally drops at Power Grid and they fight with BTR. But this is the first time they kind of changed their drop. So Talon didn't expect that. But yeah, that's the things that happens, right? So you have to be expecting the unexpected all the time. But it happens just because after like the third day that happens, you wouldn't be thinking about it, frankly speaking, if you kind of think about it.
Hmm. But yeah, you always need to, of course, prepare yourself that someone might be lurking in the corners and probably would do a jump scare and attack you. But here we go, ladies and gents. It is what it is. What's done is done. Tribe Aramacy right now dealing with just 3 members rig already out of the game here. Let's see if they can still pull off perhaps getting to the latter stages of this match and getting a shot at that chicken dinner, even if they are already at a disadvantage. But in the meantime, okay, no fights happening just yet, even though Los Leones is at full capacity here. We're talking about at least 3 teams hanging out in there: Vikings, D Savior, and Selcom DG Alliance. And as for Alter Ego, they're Cloaked RQ and Team Secret and even DRS.
And so now, Talon, with the fact that they lost that one player, how much will it affect them? I'm also looking at like the points right now. So 16-point gap with Vampire. Make this 17 since Talon, they scored 1 out of 79. So 17 is still pretty okay. Unless if Vampire or Alter Ego, these teams, they score a chicken dinner with a decent amount of elimination points, then Talon might still be at number 1. Wouldn't be too worried about Talon right now. And especially with Talon's position in the Chumacera town now, even better for them. Not to worry. But I'm just waiting for like teams to start to climb up to the Chumacera mountains. Talon seems to be going there because you always want to get that high ground, especially if the Chumacera mountains, because a lot of teams would want to go there to challenge for it. So if at stage 1 at this timing you have access, you can still get that high ground, definitely go for it.
I feel like BTR is setting up camp on the northern side because they could potentially shut down a lot of teams that might be, heading towards their direction. I mean, DRS loves to stay on the northern side just because of Hacienda del Patron. But BTR, they are repositioning. Okay, they're moving closer to the middle part, close to where Tribe Aramasi is. And as for D Savior on screen, yes, they're headed towards the middle as well, potentially clashing with Vampire Esports and another team here. Let's see who will that be. Okay, Celcom DG Alliance.
But we have Hora Esports with 7-9. Let's not forget 7-9 also lost one player earlier. If Hora Esports gets another one, then 7-9 will need to play as a duo. And Yuhai sensing someone's peeking at them. Supreme still scoping down. Okay, 8 times scope. Yuhai with a Scar L. Nobody's overcommitting the peak yet. One's just very careful, and I believe this will be a standoff because they, in reality, have quite a distance. But Mika is moving towards where Hora Esports is at.
Okay, High open fired. Because Horror Esports, Mika getting close, of course, he will be the one to actually put the nail in the coffin there. So, understandable why Sem9 is going for that massive spray to actually inflict a lot of damage up against Horror. But Mika stepped back. Okay, he went back to the compound. They unleashed Havoc up against Sem9, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough to take anyone down just yet. But that was just like maybe the hard push coming from Sem9. But I feel like, okay, they're probably going to be on the defense side rather than offense.
It would have been a super risky play if Mika goes all in because it's basically 1v4. If he does that, yeah, he gets some support from Yuhai, but still it's 1v4. But Hora Esports, they read the situation, they anticipated that there's only 2 players in this compound. So they decided to go for it, okay? Yuhai and Mika, the duo for Sem9. I with them. I'm out of here.
Yeah, definitely agree with you, Sir Khaled. And I think they agree with you as well. Yeah, number wise, oh, it's not gonna work for sure, for sure. And it's a great thing, you know, that Horror Esports was able to read on them. That okay, I think it's safe for us to actually push forward because there were only 2 players staying in their coming from 7-9. So here we go, massive spray coming from No Fear, was able to inflict a lot of damage, and yes, I was able to shut him down.
Cap continues on from the high ground, but No Fear knocked down by Mika. Okay, Sleepy is there together with them. I'm not sure if Mika can actually finish the job. Smoke will be deployed by Sky. He'll go and save his teammates. As for Yuhai, he's still stuck behind that tree. Smoke bridge could be deployed by Mika and also Yuhai to bring Yuhai to safety. Okay, they are on a vehicle. They should be able to get away. And Sleepy will be fixing his teammate. And Hora Esports will be back up as a full team, but they continue to look at Sem9 in case they find an opportunity.
Okay, No Fear is out and about. He is healing himself up here with the first aid kit. And we got Sleepy monitoring the situation, looking at Sem9's direction. Okay, no movement just yet. Hora is still holding on to a great vantage point here up against Sem9. So I feel like Sem9 probably just maybe went for those warning shots. Yes, they were able to shut down a player from Horror Esports, but are they going for a reposition or really a straight up challenge Horror from this point on? But in the meantime, we got 1T doing a massive spray up against, again, the Savior.
Oh, okay. The Xavier Vikings, they always meet, irregardless of the map. Let's see who will win this one if they choose to take this fight head on. As the Vikings now, high ground against the Xavier, but no good clear shot just because of how rough this terrain is. The Xavier together. And the other team close by, the closest one is Talon, but even that is quite far. Since they spot another player across this hill. Oh, that's BTR there.
He's picking up some information, and oh no, great spot though coming from Pathogen, shutting down Break. Now Pathogen's also getting shot at by BTR. So this is going to be an exciting event here, since we are about to witness a 3-way battle happen. But in the meantime, we got Natty back on the screen here with a monster truck prepping up a fight up against Vikings. We're waiting for the backup to arrive. Well, Natty, of course, holds down the fort, and we can see a back and forth trade down teams down the ground. Natty as well getting dropped. Feder Wallace, man, coming into play, but unfortunately getting tagged as well. But Patterson takes care of business. and it seems like they're trying to manage two teams, but unfortunately, it did not work out on their favor.
And these Avies still not able to find their footing yet. First team to be eliminated with 1 point collected by them this round. Vikings, they should be able to recover unless BTR charges onto them. But on the other side, Hora Esports looks like they are tanking the blue around the area of La Dulera. Circle continues our shift down south where the high ground of Chumasera is at. More teams expected to climb that high ground. Baseland is the team to pick up the points out of Hora Esports. And Shopper will be able to pick up the second one against No Fear.
All right, and here comes Sleepy right now, standing up. But unfortunately, Red Bull was prepared, and or Shopper rather was prepared. Here comes Canary, just making sure that Sleepy won't be coming back from that nightmare.
Put to sleep permanently. Well, until he comes back in the next round. Now we have DRS on screen, tanking the blue with Gante now bleeding out. They're in gate kept by two different teams in front of them. And that includes... Okay. Okay, that includes RRQ. Alright, that's RRQ actually blocking them from coming in. So are they going to make that long, big rotation? They can still take the down south into the circle at least. But here is RRQ from the outer side of the circle coming in. Southcom DJ Alliance is on the inner side of the circle. They see a chance to block teams and also pick up points for themselves.
This can also go like a 3-8 battle since DRS is also pretty close to where Celcom DJ Alliance, but Celcom DJ Alliance, okay, cannot really say if this is such a great spot considering that they're in between DRS and RRQ, and we just know that both the teams can be perfect with their aim, but then again, there's also a slight advantage onto Celcom just because of the fact that they could potentially, of course, stand guard up against RQ here. They're gonna really make it hard for them to step inside the zone, so that is their superpower at the moment. But that can they sustain it? That is still the big question. Obviously, RQ will try to find a better entry point, but then again, champions back on the screen here doing up against doing a massive spray up against BTR. Cass was able to bag 2 points now for himself. They're close to Tribe Aeromasi as well, so not exactly sure which team are they gonna go and challenge first.
Well, champions they will be challenging BTR. BTR also looking for their next pit stop. So it looks like the call for champions is that, okay guys, get together. BTR could probably come in. So FaZe Clan, they will charge in onto Talon. Okay, they have arrived in the compound. Here comes the rest of FaZe Clan on the other side as well. Now Talon needs to manage them from two different angles, and they managed to do it so well. Up against FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan trying to fall apart. And one more player to go. That's going to be Canary out. And Talon defended their ground against FaZe Clan.
Okay. Not a good turn of events for the side of FaZe, but it's still a-okay just because of the fact that they were able to at least bag 4 elimination points. Not the same though for Sen9 because they just got eliminated with no points whatsoever. So let's see what's going to happen next as we put on the spotlight onto Team Secret over here. Okay, they are holding on to a vantage point on top of that roof. We got Talon down below. Okay, I feel like we're only looking at 2 players now.
And Team Secret, they do have a full squad. And with Talon, your best friend knocked down, 1 player left. Alok in the building. Team Secret, they probably know that, okay, numbers advantage. Alok has killing. Can he do so? Sirius spraying down to Alok! And they will get him. Talon failed to escape. 5 points collected this round.
Look, stop and listen. Oh no, that did not play out right. RQ on screen, 1 point in the bag here, coming from Gen Fuzz, and here comes the attack coming from Kill Whitey from that window. He goes down. Delta will try to respond, but this is such a heavy firepower coming from RQ at the moment, and especially for the fact that Kill Whitey will be eliminated. Lapar making sure that they have the advantage here, and we got another nade being thrown up to example over here. Has for you with a shotgun kill.
And here comes the rush in by RRQ. Looking for Delta now in this building. Genforce with this nade towards the left side. A bit of nade damage on Genforce, but he's still fine. Now the Molly to force Delta to move. Delta still fine behind the building. Lapa will close the gap. They're on the rooftop as well. Delta was surrounded by RRQ. And DRS from a chicken dinner to 12th place this time.
from the top make it drop. RRQ executing a great plan, eliminating DRS and standing strong in that compound. Here comes Vikings challenging up RQ this time. Superman throwing some nades, adding some pressure and trying to flush them out. But coming off the kill feed, it's Rosemary coming from Alter Ego Ares. That's officially been knocked on the ground. Can he still make it? That is a question for you.
Ooh, a nade by Ifta knocks down Hans for real. From DJ Alliance gets a second one from Jamie OP this time onto Nabeko. 2 left for RRQ. They're crawling towards Lapa, hoping to be saved, but Celcom DJ Alliance will send Ifta to the forefront. And now they will try to close the gap. They will try to take them out before they are revived. Olio with his own nade, having cooked up, sent on to the other side. Not hitting his target, but that's fine. It still puts pressure on the RRQ.
Ooh, boom, right onto the face there. Hands for you. Getting knocked down. Same thing goes for Alva. K-Look as well as a total domination coming from Champions Esports. And the same goes for RRQ. And now we're looking at Genfus healing himself up. Sky from Horror Esports getting knocked down coming off the kill feed. Alter Ego Ares getting deleted from the game with only 1 point. And now followed by Horror with only 9 teams remaining, ladies and gentlemen. On the screen, it is still Celcom DG Alliance versus RRQ.
Oh, and here comes the gunshot onto Lapa. Celcom DG Alliance, they want to finish up this job. Kasim goes in, Kasim gets knocked down with the CVS. And looks like RRQ still eliminated thanks to Olio that came in from the side.
It's not a party if no one's going crazy, and Miala with that massive spray shutting down Olio. We've got also a team dominating. That would be Vikings, ladies and gents. And now we're looking at a Tony K. Vampire keeping a close eye onto Voinducky. That will be coming from that hilltop. From the kill feed, there's 2 players now that got picked up from Celcom DG Alliance, and that was the end of the line for them. 7 teams remaining. Again, Tony K back on the screen here, paying close attention to Voinducky that is just right across of him.
Vampire Esports by the edge of the circle. The next opponent is going to be Voinducky. Now Tony K, who's starting in alone for now. He needs backup. Got this information. Now the rest of Vampire Esports, they're coming in. Just keep an eye on the minimap. For Tony K, release his bullets. Voinducky, now they have an idea that Tony K is around this area. He's got Joe. Joe will expose himself. 50% of health. Tony K failed to get the knock.
All right, here we go. Tony K making a move here. Going in for the massive spray. His vest and his helmet is already damaged, but it's still pretty doable at this point. Tony K receiving some nade coming from Voinducky as a way to respond. But Voinducky, okay, trying to test out the situation here. Miala taking the high ground as well, trying to pick up some information from Tony K. But you know what? Corey's picking up a nade here. Potato's just right behind him, but they couldn't find an angle. But hey, Zeta says hello to Newsy.
Oh, the support player down. Now no off-angle guy. The rest of Voinducky, they're trying to get a good angle against Tony K, but they can't move forward because Champions Esports is also above them. Something that they need to consider. Now Tony K moves forward. Gato, he definitely saw that one. Cannot find an angle again just because of Champions Esports.
All right, kill feed now, lighting up, eliminated on the screen. That was Bigatron by Vitality, putting up a total of 1 elimination point. So again, not a very good round per se for the side of Bigatron, or at least not the usual gameplay and firepower coming from the Indonesian team. But the fight continues on as Vampire Esports slightly repositioning themselves and going to an even higher ground up against the opposition. Secret as well. We've got Frankie over here taking in some shots up against Tony K, but wasn't able to put him down. But you know what? Schweppes was able to drop him.
And here is Zerus against Tony K 1v1, rushing in forward. Zerus takes a lot of damage, and Tony K with the CBS will not miss his target. He will finish off the 2 members of Team Secret, scoring the points out of them. Looking for more right now. Vampire Esports circling around. We got Frankie here, knocked down only from Greenland, final player of Team Secret, and they know exactly where he is. All in focus on the truck, Zen and Vampire Esports will be the one to stand tall.
Ooh, and they also have a chance to pick up their teammate, Schweppes. Okay. Oh man, their fingers are heavy on the trigger, I can say. They are winning fights, which is, of course, what we love to see coming from the likes of Vampire Esports. Champion! Okay, I'd like to welcome them back, of course, to what would be a major game. But if they can pull off a chicken dinner, since they are at the top here as the team that could most likely get the WWCD, well, that could, of course, improve their status in the overall ranking. So let's see how the story is gonna unravel for each and every one of us. Superman with a max trade up against Zeta and shutting him down instantly.
Top 5 teams now. Any one of them could score the chicken dinner. Could be anyone's game. Vampire Esports, Champions Esports, Void Donkey, Tribe Arrow Missy, or Vikings. So this is an important round for both Champions Esports and Tribe Arrow Missy because they want to get out of cage number 2. Especially Champions Esports doesn't want to be at number 16. Now that Joe moving out by Mela the moment he shows up. Vampire Esports, they are still running, getting against anyone they see in front. Next target is going to be Razak.
Okay, here we go. Myola just doing the molly there, forcing out this play coming from Void Donkey. Now Myola going in for the reposition. Potato still knocked down on the ground. But you know what? The fight is not over just yet. And Potato, Superman was able to catch that point. But Void Donkey still trying to respond with a counter. But unfortunately, with that shotgun, Myola was able to bag that point. And Void Donkey wasn't able to set out any numbers at all.
No numbers at all? Wow. Okay, okay. But at least they made their way into the top 5. But now top 4 for the chicken dinner. As Tribe Arrow Missy and Champions Esports still in this game, but Vampire Esports, they've been very active across the map. Look at Superman. 8 elimination points by himself? Okay, this guy's on the roll.
Okay, maybe it's because of the fact that in Miramar, it's always bright and shiny and sunny, right? Because that's where Superman actually gets all the power, right? If he exposes himself in the sunlight, then he gets recharged. Perhaps that is the reason why he was able to bag elimination points, 8 elimination points all by himself. So he is in a superhero mode. But can he sustain it? Okay, there's a lot of teams, there's a lot of players looking at his direction, looking to shut him down as well. But Break providing a little bit of support up against Vampire Esports. Can they make it out alive?
Right now, it's all about winning fights to stay alive for all of them. Okay, everyone's resetting, taking time to loot, getting their utilities up. Tribe Arrow Missy and Champions Esports, the two teams on page number 2 now going to face off against each other with the advantage given towards Champions Esports as they have this high ground. But this Tribe Arrow Missy, they are in the circle right now. They send QYX977 in front. Gather further information on where exactly the members of Champions are at.
All right, here goes. This is the situation. Tribe Arrow Missy obviously is at a deficit just because of the fact that they only have 3 members here going up against a full squad, which is of course Champions. Cass is closer to the edge of the zone here. We got Kino moving in for the charge here. He got really close to where XYZ, but he did not go for a spray or whatsoever, even getting off of the vehicle there. Cass getting down, or shut down by QX977. Tribe Arrow Missy down to their last active member. Atomic goes in for the kill, and that was it. Tribe Arrow Missy out with 4 points in the bag.
Oh, Atomic with an explosive performance there to finish them off. Now it's between Vampire Esports, Vikings, and Champions Esports. Champions Esports, they have enough time to reset. They should. Now, we also have teams that need to get into the circle as well, including Vikings. They will meet their rotation down south. They see Champions Esports above them. Now, Champions Esports, they're preparing to get in.
Oh man, and this is such a great flex, to be honest, coming from the side of Vikings, just because of the fact that, you know, the tandem is actually working. Break and Superman, this duo is just trying to make a statement so far. Being in the top 3, even though they're at a disadvantage here compared to the other teams remaining. I mean, it's a 4v4 v2.
But here comes the spray. Right by Atomic. Trying to get this target. But still, Atomic, he has to move forward. He's on the outside of the circle. The field will be chasing him down. As for Tony K, they see Champions Esports. Looks like they want to take that preemptive approach against Champions Esports. Tony K cooking up this nade. This could be a big nade here by Tony K. Tony K is alone. He received damage as well. Schwabs to protect Tony K by knocking out Atomic.
Competition is tighter, ladies and gents. Bowser cooking up a nade up against Tony K. But oh man, it's still not enough. So there's a need for him to follow through with the attack because Tony K is low in HP here, so he doesn't have any chance to heal himself up. He's cooking up a nade, but you know what? Kino goes down. That was the big response coming from Tony K, and here comes the back of Schweppes. Newsy is here to assist Tony K.
And that's the response that they want. Now that's an opening for them to charge forward. Urkas shows himself, will be gunned down by Schweppes. It's going to be Bauja right now for Champions Esports against Vampire Esports. Someone have an idea where he's at. Newsy, we're going to finish up Urkas to pick up this point. Even burn him down. Okay, here comes Brick as well. Brick, now Vikings, they want to take part of this fight. Newsy charges in with the M4. And Newsy, now 1v1 against Brick. Brick very low, but Brick fights back.
Man, that was a great shot. Putting Newsy down on the ground here, but can Brick still manage to sustain all of the hits coming from Tony K? No, sir. Vikings is now eliminated. Champions Esports down to their last player. Now, Bauja, of course, defending himself, but you know what? At the end of the match, it is the Vampire Esports that was able to take the win and 7 elimination points in the pocket.
Wow, with Vampire Esports scoring this chicken dinner, there is a possibility that they might overtake Talon for the #1 spot. So active by Vampire Esports this round. They were just going across the map. Whoever that they see in front of them, they will take the fight. They will want to get the points for themselves. Vampire Esports still on the roll, and they've been playing the same lineup for the most part of this season. Yes, they do swap in some players, but this seems to be arguably the most solid lineup that they have. I mean, just look at this lineup. Lots of firepower in them. Tony K, you got Schweppes, you got Newsy, and then you have Mela. This is a high bragging team.
You're absolutely right, Sir Clouds. And, it's shaping up to be a great set of matches for today. At least we already know which of the 16 teams is eager enough to finish strong in the grand final. So far, you know, those teams that are really bagging the chicken dinner, showing us great consistency, definitely Vampire Esports is one of them. 13! Okay, 13 points in the bag for eliminations. Oh man, that is a lot.
Absolutely, right? There is a chance that they're #1 with this amount of eliminations. But look at the damage output by Tony K, more than 1,000 by himself. I mean, we always see him playing at the front, and of course, he is the best player to be deployed in the front. His mechanical skills are the best, if not the best in the world. So putting it in front, dealing the damage, and then the rest follow up to finish opponents off, bringing in the points for their team, just like how he did towards the end. He gets that nade, opens up the fight, and then everyone comes in. So that's how they deploy Tony K from how we see this round.
Tony K definitely showed up, you know, for this round, I can say. Same thing goes for Miaula. You know, but at the end, of course, we always have to consider everyone's effort in the game. You know, it's the teamwork that makes the dream work all the time, especially in battle royales. And we can see that other teams also perform great. Aside from Vampire, we got Vikings as well, Champions Esports, and Tribe Aeromancy.
Yeah, coming up as the teams to watch. So among these teams, we did talk about them, Champions Esports and Tribe Aeromancy, very